So we're going to do a deep dive now into the issues that sort of changed the 18 to 24 voting landscape. I'm pretty sure that's still Gen Z, right? So I'm going to read them off here. Every article I read did a lot of stuff on this. And the first one was housing.
Yeah.
I get it, right? The average first-time home buyer in Canada is over 30. The environment, which has always been a major issue for young people. I put that in there because it did come up. I didn't see it talked about a lot, but it did come up in a lot of the articles. This one it really hit me hard. The economy, stagnant economy, huge. A lot of young people are talking about deficits. And this one I threw in because I really think that young people are seeing this. Like, I'm 10 years older than you guys, maybe a little bit older. A lot of the wealth and program spending for like 65 plus or 55 plus. So like, Josh, if you want to say who you voted for, you can. What made you either stay, I think we know, what made you stay with your party or switch parties?
So I voted Liberal, obviously. It's unfortunate here on that. But this was an election about economic issues, and that first and foremost in that. We were seeing Trump's tariffs come into effect, and that people were worried, young people, older generations, and that people like yourself too, the middle generations here. People were worried
You guys are coming at me today. I don't know.
People were worried about the economy and that, and how they're going to be able to afford a house in the future, how they're going to be able to live an affordable life in that. And that was something at the forefront of this election.
Mm-hmm. I think we see something interesting. You know, Pierre came out with a lot of promises around how they're going to solve housing. Then the Liberals did act on a couple of the things that Pierre had brought up, and they started putting them into action. I think Gen Z really liked that. They saw that, oh, wow, the Liberals can listen. I'll give the Liberals props. One thing that they do seem, that I've seen, is they do find a way to listen. They do listen. They actually do. And that's pretty cool. Now, I don't know if a conservative government would act quicker or have better execution. I can't absolutely guarantee that, but one thing I think is important to note is, I mean, when we talk about environment, I think that's going to continue to go down as Trump's tariffs continue to go up. Like, we were at a 90-day pause. It's coming back in 30 days. It's either we start using our oil and gas and critical minerals in Canada, or we don't, and we become, next to nothing for the United States.
Yeah. And just to what you mentioned there too, this is a government that's going to listen to people. It's going to listen to young people on these issues. It's going to work collaboratively with the Conservative Party, with the NDP still, the Bloc Québécois on that, to resolve some of these issues that young people are facing.
Can I ask a question? Do you think young Liberal voters will leave the party if the Liberal Party is forced to abandon their one thing that they've been so strong on, is environment? Because they're going to be at a crossroads where they're going to be forced to either abandon it or stand firm.
I don't think so. I think young people are going to continue to stick with the Liberals, stick with our leader, Mark Carney, and our government right now, because we're continuing to deliver on our promises that we've done, and young people see that. They see the changes that we've proposed
around the environment.
Yeah. We've seen the changes that we've proposed for housing and that. We've seen the changes and proposals we put forward to the environment and that. And we're committed to continuing to protect our environment while also fighting Trump's tariffs and that we've seen.
Is it possible to do that?
Well,
it is possible.
Well, here, I want to go back to housing.
And
you guys don't own a house.
Correct.
No, that's okay. I do, so you can hate me as much as you want. So Gregor Robertson, housing minister, you guys are young. So this is what he said the other day, which I completely agreed with. And I don't care who's watching at home or who hates me after this, when he says that you have to protect home values. And I think that there's this like asset class war coming from younger people where they think that they have to bankrupt people older than them in order.
That's true.
This is going to be the toughest thing in this country, because all I hear is, and rightfully so, I think it's baloney that you guys can't afford to buy a house. I'm a realtor. I moonlight as a television host. I think everybody knows that, right? I want you guys to be able to buy a house, but I don't think the answer is to plunge people into like either bankruptcy, losing their homes. So like, this is tough. What do you guys think?
Do you think, can I ask you a question, with the government of Canada building homes, will that significantly increase home values or not?
No. Well, first of all, if you build a new home in an old neighborhood, the value is going to go up regardless. Building stuff brings up a value. And I don't want to get in, like, I don't want, turn this into I'm being interviewed here, because you and I do shows together. But housing, what do you, like, was this the end-all issue for you guys?
Yeah, no, energy was, because I knew that it would make a decision on how Canada's going to push forward with Donald Trump and the tariffs. I think we could see a North American superpower, Canada and the United States, if we started actually being wise with the deals that we make with the United States.
Yeah. So his was energy. I want to know what yours was.
The economy. That was my
Yeah,
issue
yeah.
this election, and that who's best to fight against Trump and his tariffs, and that who's best to listen to young people's issues, and that housing. Like you said, we don't own a house at all, and it's going to be really difficult for us too in the future to save up to afford to buy that house. And that young people are fed up with the status quo on some of these issues, and I think that frustration is really starting to come through on issues like housing.
There you go.
If I could just really quickly,
Let's-
energy to me is the economy, which is why I believe energy is the number one
I'm going to let
issue.
you continue when we get back from our commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about, can these guys be persuaded to vote for the other party? We'll find out when you come back.